just wanted to introduce it by talking about this, the practice we do. That's unique. The way we do this is unique to Lost Coin. As far as I know, nobody else does it in quite this way. It has roots in other places, but we've kind of evolved it a certain way. And that has to do with a convergence of many things. And one of them is just the time that we're in right now. The study of consciousness and the study of excellence is not so far removed from each other. Once you start looking at how to produce excellence, you right away wind up in the realm of consciousness in some way. I was reading this book, which is interesting. It's called Talent is Overrated, and it's about what really separates world-class performers from everyone else. And it's kind of interesting because we do assume that talent is so important, and it's hard to get out of that mental set. But, for example, even if you were born very talented, if you show a talent for something at the age of 8 or whatever, there's absolutely no, you may excel at it from age 8 to 13. There's no, the statistics don't show that you'll go on. What the statistics show is that if you persist with something for a long period of time, you'll excel. More so than if you're born with a particular talent. And we say, well, what about some people who were born in a particularly great situation, like Tiger Woods? And he starts playing golf at about 4. His father is completely his golf teacher and is into golf. Yeah, that happens. But then, for the one Tiger Woods who then went on to become a professional, there's a lot of them like that who just, you know, at the age of 11, they got interested in girls, and there went their golf game, or rock and roll, or drugs, or whatever, you know. So, it's interesting. It's also interesting for me reading this book that he says some things that are very inaccurate, and I want to talk about that. Most of it is very good, just excellent, definitely worth reading. But the 3 areas that have been really studied to see what produces excellence, it's kind of interesting because I do 2 of them. I've actually done 3 of them, but 2 I know very, very well. And that is chess and music. And the other is athletics. And I've done some martial arts training and some of that. But what he says about how chess players study is wrong. It's not how chess players study. He says that the main way that chess players study is this way. It's just not true. You know, I mean, then he talks about certain aspects of studying music, and it's true, but only for classical musicians. So he's not being careful. And that is the difference in our practice. We are lucky to have people studying human development at the same time, and when there's a lot of money involved, like in athletics or in the military, they have the money to really study this very thoroughly, and we don't have to do with it what they do, but we have access to the same ideas and to look at the same things, and that's important. It can be science too. But the difference when we're really studying something and really want to understand it is theory doesn't count. Like, take if you're studying athletics, like you want to be a football player, and there's this theory about how if you know, eat lots of meat, you'll be a great football player. Well, if the player who does that then gains more yardage than the other players, then people will start to take it seriously. If he doesn't, they won't. If somebody comes up with the idea that the best way to study music is to not do scales, and that then a school of musicians comes up that way and plays superiorly, then you have evidence. So what starts to happen is that the study of self-development becomes just as evidence-based can be as any other scientific study, which means you have to have observable results, not theory. When a scientist decides that this planet is moving so fast and therefore at a certain rate, then it means that it has to be over there by tomorrow, and they can measure it. And look, it's over there. So in the same way, in studying ourselves, our tool is observation, not theory. We have many years of theory about psychology, and Eastern theories and New Age theories. And so in the lost coin way, instead we align ourselves with practicality, science, observable results. So what we're working on this week is you to actually observe yourself, which is not like to think about yourself. It's not like saying, I think I'm such and such a kind of person. That's one thing. But to look and see what kind of person you are is something completely different. And what I'm asking you to do for this week was to write it as well, to keep it written down and really see. But I think what I want to stress to you is two things. There really is, and it may take you a little while to really work with it, it's practice, to understand the difference from what you think you're like and what it is to actually observe what you're like. Now, let's say sitting here, I can observe what you're like. I can observe what I'm like in ways that you might not observe. That's the way we're asking you to observe yourself. We're asking that our approach, the lost coin approach, be to see reality. Now today we're focused on the reality of yourself, your personality, your ego, your being. But also we talk about seeing reality in life.